Alright, so today I'm going to be talking to you guys about not cheap, but some affordable knives for bushcraft or survival or whatever you need a decent knife for. It's not like I went out to the store and I just bought these all today. I've put these through a couple years, some of them a couple years of use. The others there's one rather new one, but I've still used it enough to know like what its good features are and everything. First, we're going to talk about a few really nice fixed blades that I've acquired. This one on the outside. This is the only one that actually came with a sheath. The other ones, actually this one did, but it got ruined. So I keep these in. This is an MP5 mag holster, but it holds my knives fine, so I use that for that. But this is a Turpin Bay. It's kind of like it's kind of like a hunting knife and a combat knife kind of put together, I guess. I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for here is, but it's a very nice knife. As you can see, there's a lot of wear on it. The blade is still really sharp. The point has gone down a little bit because I don't know what I've been doing. I've had it for 4 years now, and it's held up very fine. These handles, I'm not sure if they're just some kind of plastic, but they feel great in my hand. They're never got loose at all or anything. It's a very nice knife, and I paid, I think, $10 for it. And I have a branch over here. I'll show you a demonstration on me using it real quick, so just hold on a second. I did actually have to cut this one down because I grabbed a branch off the ground. It got down to, I think, 20 degrees last night, and it's completely frozen. So I did have to cut this down for the demonstration, but it's whatever. So this is a live tree. Let's get some of these smaller ones out of the way real quick. We'll go ahead and chop through the smaller one, and then this one is a little thicker. Just make sure this is in frame real quick. I think that's there. Yeah, you can see that. Okay. And normally, like, I would use a knife this small for batoning. I wouldn't just try to chop with a knife this small because you're not going to get very far with it. But I wanted to show you some of its power by itself without having to have anything else backed behind it. So we'll go ahead and try this. This one's probably about 2 of the ones that I just did. But actually, as you see, I don't have gloves on, and it's only, I don't know, 35 degrees out, I think it was last time I checked. So performance is kind of based on the fact that my hands are frozen. I forgot my gloves inside, and I don't feel like running back inside to get it, so just bear with me. Make sure that's in frame. You can't see that, can you? My arm's in the way. Maybe if I stand over here. So this, when you're using it as a batoning tool, it is much more effective, as you could probably guess. It's very light, so obviously if you're trying to chop like I just was, it's going to take a little longer, and it's actually not as sharp as I normally keep it. I haven't used this for a while. I've been getting new knives and stuff, but I still love this knife. The sheath that it came with is rather nice. It's held up the full 4 years just as the knife has. It's just a cheap nylon sheath, but it's held up very, very nicely. What I like about it is, like, hold on, let me take it off here. The belt loop is very tiny, so it doesn't like rattle or try to shift places. When it's on your belt, it stays right where you want it. So this is one of my favorite knives, actually. And one thing, these kind of look pointy, or they are kind of pointy, but they fit my hand really nicely. Like I don't feel it at all. They fit right in that groove. And if you wanted to, you could smooth them down, but the grip is actually, it might look uncomfortable, but it's a very comfortable grip. Like this doesn't get cold because it's not metal, so it's like the knife itself isn't cold, so you don't freeze your hand while you're trying to use it. Except my hands are already cold because it's 35 degrees out. But I love this weather, so not a big deal. Next, we will go with this one. This one did not come with a sheath. This is more of a utility knife than a bushcraft knife, but I like it because of these. You can thread cordage through here and make a nice spear or some other kind of tool. So I definitely include this in my survival bushcraft kind of category because it fits very well for what I need. Very nice handle grip. It's a rubbery plastic. Not sure what it is exactly. It's still a knockoff, but it's a Job Smart, or that might be Job Smart. I'm not sure. I think it's Job Smart, not Jobs Mart. But yeah, it's a very nice blade. It's rather thick. This came in actually a 3-pack. I don't have the other ones. They just got misplaced over the years, but this is the only one that I have left of the 3-pack. I think the 3-pack was $20, no, 30. But if this was probably sold separately, it'd be, I don't know, $10. So this is another about a $10 knife. Very sharp. Blade is probably one of the lower quality knives that you can get. The other one was stainless steel. This is stainless steel, but a much lower quality stainless steel, but still very, very good. And I think it looks cool just as it is. That's one of the reasons I actually still have it, is because I just really like the look of the knife. This one though is not more. This is more for like if I needed to skin something or gut something. This is what I would use it for. This is not necessarily my first pick for chopping because it's, like I said, the weak blade kind of it loses an edge rather fast. And obviously, like this isn't very hardwood, but if you are chopping into, I don't know, oak or something, oak, maple, or anything a little harder, it would probably leave a dent in this knife. But yes, I definitely recommend you explore, not just go with all the higher end knives. This is a great knife for the buy if you're just trying to start out into bushcraft, because this would be fine for small woodworking. Like it's razor sharp right now. It just doesn't hold the nicest edge when you're chopping through stuff that's a little stronger. But if you're just trying to get a sharp point, this will do it incredibly fast. Let me see if I can find something a little harder for you. So we have, this is pine. Make sure you can see that. Sorry, it is kind of dark back here. I'm back at my shelter. The sun can't really get back in here that well, but it looks like it's showing up pretty fine. But as you can see, it definitely, it's not a bad knife at all. It can definitely do a decent amount of work, just not chopping. Not every knife knife has to be a chopper anyway, so definitely recommend that knife. I've had this one for, I think, 3 years. Got that for Christmas or my birthday. I can't really remember. Next knife. This is probably the cheapest knife that I own. This is actually another $10 knife, but I say it's the cheapest because of the steel. This is probably the crappiest steel that I've ever had on a knife. I'll admit that, but it's kind of like a small parang style knife. I love the grip though. The grip is probably my favorite feature of this knife. That's why I keep it. Very comfortable, great for small woodworking again. Again, not a chopper, a utility slash skinning kind of knife. Not every knife you need, or I use for chopping. See, it's still taking off pretty nice chunks. This is an Outdoor Life. The other one was, I think I said it, Job Smart. Not sure if I can't remember if I did. Yeah, I did. Sorry, had a little burp there, but great knife. The tip here, not sure if it's showing up, but that is kind of dented. I've had this for I think almost 5 years now. It's full tang. It's a little crappy knife, but it's lasted 5 years, and that's not just like it's been sitting in my closet. I've used this for 3 years, like every day. I stopped using it as I got into more cold steel and condor knives, but still a great little knife to have. I wish I still had the sheath for it. It was a nice leather one. I think I poked a hole in it doing something with it. It was actually a different knife that I cut the sheath with. Can't remember what happened, but it was a rather nice one. This is a great knife. I got it from Kmart. So you can find good knives anywhere pretty much. I wouldn't say it could save your life, but it would definitely make it easier if you got stuck in the bush. So that is the Outdoor Life little knockoff parang. And then in here is a really neat knife. This is actually probably the highest quality knife that I've shown you so far. This is a super tiny Winchester hunting knife. This again is for skinning. Like the small blade, it's really only good for precise work. It's almost not good for woodworking. It's so small. Like you have to get like a really close angle on this because it's almost hard to hold in my hand now. But I still love this knife just because it's unique. It's actually not very sharp right now. I have to sharpen all of these. That's why I brought them out here. And I decided to make this video. But this is a really cool knife. This is one of the first knives that I've actually got. I got this in another 3-pack. It came with a small little pocket knife, and then can't remember if there was a bigger folding, if it was the big folding knife or a big fixed blade. I can't remember. This is the only one that I have left. Again, that was 5 years ago. I don't keep track of all my knives. Some get stolen, some get lost. But for skinning wise, because that's what this one was really used for, I clean it every time I use it. Just a cool knife to have in your collection. Not really much to say on this. Full tang. It's a stainless steel, but probably 440, considering it's made by Winchester. Cool little knife. I'm not sure if they even make them anymore. I'm not sure if they make any of these anymore. I got them a while back. May be discontinued. May not be. If you see any of them, I definitely recommend you getting these pocket knives. Very cool. Sorry, just dropped dropped them all. So that's those. Now on to the pocket knife category. I have 4 rather nice ones to show you. First, we'll start off with the multi-tool. I have no clue what brand this is. If you have this, or if you know what brand it is, tell me, because I want to get another one. This is probably the coolest and my favorite like plier, like multi-tool I've ever had. The knife in here, when I got this it was razor sharp. The point has broken off, but it's still very sharp. Let's see if I can get a branch here. Best to use it like this. And actually, I lost this for about 2 years. It was just, I found it when I was making the shelter back here. It was probably, it was like right at the base of this pine tree here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it was at the base of the pine tree, covered in mud and rock, and it was out here for 2 years, and look at it. It's still pretty much stainless steel. It looks like it might be a year old, no more. It still, there's no like friction. It moves fine. The one con on this knife is the saw. Not sure how well you can see that, but it's the worst saw I've ever had on a pocket knife. It really is. I love the knife in general, but like, come on, this is like something you would give a kid for practicing, I don't know, tools, like those plastic tool sets. You could give them this saw and they couldn't hurt themselves with it, even if they wanted to. So, great multi-tool altogether. Kind of hard to shut, actually, because my hands are cold, but very well made. If this was a Leatherman, I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think it is. It doesn't look like a Leatherman, but it's the quality of a Leatherman. It's a great multi-tool. There's no name on it anywhere. I wish there was, because like I said, I want to get another one of these. I want to get a new one so I can compare it. But this looks like no older than a couple months, maybe, for some people. Great knife. I've had it for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, I guess. Yeah, probably 5 years. Great knife. I'm glad that I found it. I just don't know when I dropped it out here. It's kind of it was a cool little treat when I found it. But moving on. Next, we have a Schrade Super Sharp. You're probably looking at this like, why would you have this in a bushcraft, whatever you want to call it. I can't think of a name for it. But I have it because it's incredibly sharp, like the name suggests. Looking at it, it kind of reminds me of a Spyderco with the little notch out, and just the overall angle of the knife and the blade. When you get the knife, actually, there's grayish, like a gray rubber handle. I took that off because I don't know, I got bored and I decided to cut it off. But if you want the rubber thing, that's how it comes. It's really not much to this knife. It's a liner lock. It's just incredibly sharp. That's why I have it. So, it's a really cool knife. I've carried this one for about a year. Point's still great. It holds up a very nice sharp blade. Snaps into place really nice. Great knife. $7, I think. Really cheap plastic handle, but it hasn't cracked or anything in the time that I've carried it. I've dropped it. I've actually threw it once, and it's held up just fine. So I recommend that knife very much. Let's see. The next knife is my new favorite knife of all time. I'm trying to get into buying more of this brand because they seem to be rather nicely made. This is a Outdoor Edge. These are just they make more like hunting knives. This is probably 440 stainless steel again. I like the lock on these because it's not sure what you call them. I think they're called thumb locks, or I can't remember. But I just like it because they're more secure. I've had a lot of liner locks either go too far over and get stuck so you can't close the knife, or just break or not open at all. So I've had a lot less trouble with these types of locks on pocket knives, and I prefer them. I just think they're easier altogether. But the knife itself, very sharp. This is a razor sharp blade. It's, as I think I just said, it's a hunting knife. Simba, get down. Oh, just get down. Get. Okay, sorry. My cat's climbing on top of my shelter. Anyways, it's kind of like an ambidextrous knife. It has 2 thumb studs on each side. So if you're a hunter, if you're left-handed and you're a hunter, I guess you might like that. I don't care. I'm right-handed. You really don't even need a thumb stud. You can just open it by the blade. Not as fast, but it doesn't matter. It's not like you're needing to open it super fast every time. But the handle itself, obviously I picked the orange because, well, one, it stood out to me. I like the color orange in general, but when you drop, I've lost so many knives just by dropping them and not being able to find them because they blend in with the ground or the leaves. This is a very bright orange, sticks out. Even in the fall, I actually purposely threw it into a pile of leaves, and I found it easy because this doesn't really blend in, which is good. And also, there's no clip on it. I don't like knives that come with side clips. It really annoys me because I don't use them. I just throw them in my pocket or in a pouch or something. I don't need a clip on it or anything. So that's why, and I really like the shape of the blade itself. It has a unique look. The thumb has this nice jipping here, so you can really choke up on it and get a nice angle. This is my new favorite blade. I carry it with me everywhere. This is not just for bushcraft or hunting, it's for any knife use you can think of, except for chopping, obviously. I would never recommend a pocket knife for chopping. Even the Cold Steel Pocket Bushman, Nothing Fancy does a video on it where he's completely bashing on it, and then he gets mad when it breaks. Sorry dude, but it's a pocket knife. I don't care if it's a $1,000 pocket knife, it's still a pocket knife. It's not meant to be bashed on like that, like a fixed blade. That was his fault, I have to say. But even that knife, like I said, don't use a pocket knife for batoning or anything. It's just a dumb idea. You're gonna break it, and you could end up getting a piece of metal in your eye. But anything else, definitely pocket knives are. Damn, I can't think of any of the right words today. But they're definitely overlooked by some people. Some people think you have to have a fixed blade for everything. There are a lot of pocket knives that are very high quality, and you can use them for anything you need, except for chopping, like I said. But this is very nice for it. It just fits your hand so nicely. Again, it's ambidextrous for people that need that, or if you use both hands, or if you're left-handed. I definitely recommend this knife and just the company that makes these knives. I'm definitely going to be checking them out more. You'll probably see a few new reviews on some of their other knives, fixed blade pocket knives. I think they have a multi-tool too. And you can get these at Meijer or Walmart. That's what I love about some of these brands, like Cold Steel. I've never seen a Cold Steel in a store except for Bass Pro Shop, and the closest Bass Pro Shop is an hour away from me. So I definitely like seeing good brands that you can get in like a local store. I hate having to order them online. It just takes time, and there's always that shipping hassle. Something could go wrong. You have to pay for shipping. I just like local stores better. And the last knife I have is not an affordable knife. This I brought this out so that I could show you even a high quality knife can sometimes be surpassed by knockoffs. This is just a Gerber. I think it has a name, but I can't remember. It's just a Gerber pocket knife. This is a $35 knife. As you can see, the tip broke off. It's incredibly thin. I don't know why you would ever make a knife like that. And they try to say this is like a heavy duty pocket knife. It's not at all. When I was stabbed it into a log, I was just trying to like keep it off the ground, and it tried to close on me. Like I just barely went like that, and it closed. I'm not gonna do it because I don't want it to close on me, but it did. The liner lock is terrible. The metal in general, it doesn't hold a very nice edge. Like I said, it broke off within 2 days of having it. I was not very impressed. Like, yeah, it looks cool. It's black on black. It has a nice texture right here. The grip is okay, but it's not a very good knife. It's $35 and it's a piece of crap. Compared to this one, this is a $20 knife. Yeah, not the most, not the cheapest, but still rather cheap, I would say. But come on, Gerber, you're gonna try to say this is a high quality knife, let's see, or a heavy duty knife, and it's gonna be this crappy. It's incredible. It doesn't stay very sharp, I think I said. And I don't like knives that have serration. It's kind of pointless. You can't get a nice thing going unless it's like a small twig like this. I don't like serration. Pocket knives have no need for serrations on them. This does have a ambidextrous thumb stud, I guess. That's cool. Don't care for it. I was just really disappointed in the overall quality of this make, I guess. I was expecting it to be a lot nicer than what it was, especially for $35. I could have gotten a lot cooler knife for that price. And Gerber is like a very well-known brand. And Outdoor Edge, not so much. Or maybe they are, I don't know. But like that, I included this to show you, like, not just because it's a big name brand doesn't mean it's the best choice. Some people only go for like the highest high-end knives, and well, why would you ever get a knife like that? I've seen knives from $50 to $500. I would never use a $500 knife. I'd be too afraid of ruining. I just spent $500 on it. Why would you like that? I can't understand why people do that. Like, if you're collecting them, still you can get a cheap knockoff that looks real, because if it's going to sit on your shelf, what's the point of spending $500 on it? I just don't understand people sometimes always trying to look cool because they can spend a lot of money. It's stupid. But that's just actually, I guess it's not a short review. That was probably pretty long. I wasn't expecting it to be that long. I talk too much. But yeah, that was Holy shit. That's 30 minutes. I just talked for 30 minutes. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and end this because it's going to be probably a pain to upload this whole thing. But anyways, I definitely encourage people to explore with I don't want to say cheap knives, but affordable or I guess knockoffs. Not all of them are bad. Yeah, obviously some are crap, but don't let that discourage you from trying new things sometimes.